Hello, everyone. This is Peter Davis, Statewide Director for the Advanced Transportation and Renewable Energy Sector. With me today is Dr. Gus Kaler, President of Time Structures Incorporated. Over the last 2 years, we have been looking at data that will support good decision making in regions and by campuses to support transportation or renewable energy programs.
Yeah, the data that we're presenting is useful. It's something you can pick up immediately. We've drawn this from the Census Bureau, the Labor Market Information Division, put it into some very usable, straightforward tables that are helpful, tell you where to go to find the businesses that matter to your program.
One of the things that I asked Dr. Kaler to do was reduce the clutter, the noise in the data that we were looking at. I wanted it in color, I wanted it simplified, I wanted to be able to look at it in less than 10 minutes and realize, aha, the data now serves me. I am not a servant to the data.
I'm Gus Kaler, President of Time Structures Incorporated. We're the ones who developed this data into a format that you personally can use right today to figure out who your customer is in the way of companies and how to get your students a job in those companies. So the data that you're seeing before you is organized into companies and other important information. So let's walk through it. If you start with the pink column and move to the right to the first couple of columns there, you see the company's name and you see some information about how big they are in terms of the amount of sales they have, things like that. Then if you move to the second group of columns there, and that tells you about their technology. So when you walk in the door, you know who they are, you know what to say, you have everything organized to ask them pointed questions that show you understand who they are, and you can then figure out what kind of curriculum you need. And then the next group of data that's important to you is after the green column. This data provides you information about their website, their phone number, who to call, who to talk to, high in the organization, not just the secretary, so you can get into the organization, talk to the person about how you can train their staff and people to do the job that they want done. So that's how you use this first set of data. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the next tab, tab 2 on your data. One of the things that's very helpful is to group the companies so you can figure out where they are around your college. So what this chart does is it shows how companies are grouped by zip code. So if you go down from the pink and move to your right, you can see the name of the companies and all those same things again. But as you go down, you can see these orange lines that go across, and each orange line cuts zip code numbers into groups. You can just kind of scan down that sometimes there's a whole bunch of companies under those orange lines. So what you're looking for is how do they group so you can then organize yourself to go out and meet them using the data that we've already introduced in the first part of this to focus yourself on what's in that group at those colleges. What you see here are 3 tables. The table on the left is data for clean technologies for 2014. The table in the middle is clean technologies for 2015, the same data. And the table on the far right shows the difference between 2015 and 2014. The important thing, and this is where the gold is, it shows you which of these sectors are growing, which companies are being added, which are shrinking, which are putting on employees, and which are getting more money. The coding that shows you that is the color of the number. The green numbers are where the growth is, the red numbers are where it's shrinking. This is a summary for the Central Coast. Let's look at changes between 2014 and 2015. If we looked at the table on the far right, we can see that the greatest growth occurred in energy storage in terms of investment. $82 million are put into that. There was some growth in jobs. And if we look at transportation, that was the second area where the most growth was. Overall, we saw 12 new companies get established there since 2014, and we see 308 jobs generated in that area, and 181 million was invested. Because we can see which of the energy sectors the investments occurred in and where the job growth is, you have an idea of whom to approach to bring onto your advisory groups as you go forward. And you also have an idea of whom to approach to get donations of equipment or other information and ideas that'll help you evolve your curriculum so that it meets that sector's growth needs.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kaler, for taking us through that really brief summary of all three tabs. I can see the magic there. I can also find the gold there, so I can make good decisions. And I hope you out there can look at it and say, for our region, for our campus, for my faculty, and for me, I feel good about the data decisions I'm making because I understand it. So this is to all the regions out there. This should help you translate data very quickly, make good decisions, identify partners, make greater advisories, really process data very quickly, and decide where your limited dollars can make the most bang for the buck. ROI is what we're about, and we're about helping you. Thanks very much. Call me if you need anything. Peter Davis. Bye.